So, shall we look at the Donald today? Donald J. Trump. Let's just look at part of his chart from the rising sign up to the midheaven. I believe it's 24 Taurus. But, let's see, generally speaking here, that gives us the 10th house, the 11th house, the 12th house, and the rising sign, the ascendant, which is 29 degrees of Leo. And his midheaven is 24 degrees of Taurus. Now here we find, and I may be leaving something out because of my memory, but I can't remember everything. But here we have planet Uranus in 17 degrees and the Sun in 22 degrees. And these form a conjunction. Anyone born with the Sun in conjunction with Uranus is a real individualist, is almost a startlingly unique person in some way or another, no matter what part of what role in life they're playing. But in this case, the 10th house, since this is the 10th house, this is the house of occupation, also of what is visible, manifestly visible to the public. So this unique and almost genius type of ability that he has is projected to the whole world. Then as we go from Gemini, and these are both in Gemini, so there's also that interesting duality and that ability to talk off the cuff and speak from the rostrum, for an hour and a half without, using a teleprompter is just amazing. Then we go over here into Cancer, which happens to coincide with the 11th house. And then we have Mercury. And Mercury is the planet of the mind. I believe it's in either 5 or 8 degrees of Cancer. It makes an aspect going down this way to Neptune, a square to Neptune. That gives him a vivid imagination, and sometimes he imagines things that aren't even always true, but but also he's very sensitive. He's got a tremendous amount of sensitivity because Mercury being in Cancer gives him a good memory. He really knows his stuff. Then as we get further into this house, we find that Venus and Saturn are in a conjunction. Typically, a person who has Venus and Saturn conjunct is interested in mature people, loves fine things in life, wants to get established, wants to get ahead in life, prefers mature women rather than chasing young girls, really young girls. So that's a fairly good thing here. Pluto, which I write this way, PL, for the initials of the discoverer, Percival Lowell, rather than this fish skeleton thing that other people use. No, I don't like that. We'll go with Pluto like this. Down here, it doesn't have too many aspects, but down here we have Mars. And this is so important in his chart. I would like to do this in red. Here's Mars. His Mars is within 3 degrees of the ascendant. It's in 26 degrees. The ascendant is 29 degrees. So Mars is rising. If this planet is within 5 degrees of the actual rising sign, then it counts as rising. Mars is his signature planet. Mars has to do with energy, has to do with masculinity, has to do with drive, has to do with self-assertion, work. The work ethic is very strong with him. And the aggression, there's undeniably going to be aggression because of that. However, in his chart, Mars is in a good aspect. This is called a sextile aspect with his Sun. And when the Sun and Mars are in a good aspect, favorable aspect, then this work ability is used for the best rather than as a detriment. Also, off the chart here, we can't quite see it. Mars is in a trine with the Moon. The Moon is down here opposed to the Sun, but it is mellowed at this opposition between Sun and Moon, which is a kind of that shows the differences between his father, whom he so strongly identifies with, and his mother, who came to America and met his father, basically. Well, anyway, 2 different totally types of people, the father and the mother. And that's indicated in his chart by Sun, the father, being opposite the Moon, the mother. But Mars mellows them out because Mars is in a very favorable, harmonious trine to Moon, and it's in a very favorable and positive and creative sextile to the Sun. So with Mars rising, he has the energy to go about building a financial empire, and he also has the ability to go and run for president of the United States.